What's good, y'all? Welcome to my review for this week's episode of Persona 5 The Animation. Now, yes, I know, this review is very very overdue, and I do apologize for that, guys, but hey, like I said in my essay on my Hero Academia reviews, I went to go see Avengers tonight, and right as when I was rewatching the episode a second time because while I was watching it the first time, I was also watching Mother's Basement News video where he dropped talking about the Persona 5 animation. So saying that's a waste of time, pretty much that it's not as good as it could have been, and that a lot of other things which me personally, he says this is an average anime, and the character's like a shelter for it, even though there's only been 2 episodes dropped, and he's acting like, and there's he's talking about about cognitive world. And I'm like, dude, this always happened late game. You expect him to drop in the first 2 episodes? No. But whatever. Now he also at the end of the video, drop a comment if you do love the series, explain your reasons why, which I did. But in case you don't feel in case you want to years in the future, which by the way, hi, future viewers, if you are watching this from the future, but in case you don't want to feel like digging through comments, I pretty much just said that I love this anime mostly doing that. This is what I expect from the anime, revisiting the story of Persona 5, because the story of Persona 5 is fucking amazing. And that's what I expect from me, just revisit the story. And hell, I got more than that, with them actually expanding on the details of it, like we've seen with Kamoshida. They've actually shown us some of the shit that Kamoshida has done to Shiho, which of course makes me hate him that much more. So there's a lot of things I love about the series that I will definitely. So I go into further detail in the comment, but you can look it up for yourself if you want. Now, also, before I begin the episode itself, let me talk about the OP. Because as we know, the second episode's which another thing Mother Base complained about, oh yeah, the OP is garbage. I'm like, dude, it's just a placeholder, right? Which, I feel like the video was more or less him just, not really do much research like he does with most of the video. It was just kind of speaking from the heart, just, from the hip, I guess you could say. Just him to talk about his overall thoughts. They probably didn't do much research about, the OP being just a placeholder episode 2, and the real OP being introduced in episode 4, because apparently it has spoiled, which, yeah, I can kind of see that. There's some, I guess, potential spoiler stuff, but I don't think there's anything that you could have just shown us in episode 2. But whatever. Before I begin, let's talk the OP stuff now, guys. Now, guys, like I said, I never, besides Persona 5 was the first one I actually read, or I guess played, or I guess watched, in this case, because I watched the Let's Play Persona 5, of the source material before I watched the anime adaptation. So when the OP aired, when we did see the OP, and it was referencing things, foreshadowing future events, I was like, oh shit, oh, they're referencing that, ooh, I like that shot composition, ooh, nice foreshadowing there, ooh, I like that, because I never used to pick up on this stuff, because, like I said, most of the time, I'm an anime only, so I don't pick up on, but now that I played Persona 5 or watched a Let's Play of it, I pick up on all these little details and little things that foreshadowing later events, and it's so cool. I'm like I said, I cannot get over this high I have. So yeah, OP itself, fucking amazing. Love it. 10 out of 10. Now, so let's start with this episode. Now, we start this episode off with on reading over the calling card that they've given to Kamoshida, and basically Kamoshida, we know that you have been harassing and assaulting students, raping them, as well as many other things that we've come, to stop you. Which of course, An's like, everyone's like, the low's kind of lagging because of that baby. And Ryuji's like, oh, come on, I love Ryuji. He's like, I love Ryuji. And then we see Kamoshida head, and he's like, who put these up? Was it you? And he grabs this one kid by the collar, or by the shirt. He's like, was it you? Was it you? And they looks at Kira and Cruz like, was it you? You brats? It doesn't matter, you'll be expelled anyway. So we then see Shadow. So then we see kind of the critical hit, graphic pop up, and then we see Shadow Kamoshida head, and he's like, come at me if you try. So he's like, he's pretty much saying, come at me, bro. And they're like, and so then they go to the roof to discuss their plans. On leaves a little early before the meeting's over, that's where we see that she actually went to visit Shiho, which is still in the hospital. She hasn't regained consciousness. She's hooked up to all these wires and shit because she jumped off the building. I'm still kind of surprised. I'm actually like, how did she actually survive the fall? Because granted, she didn't like dive head first and her neck hit the pavement, but she got just fell. Was it just the way she fell, or was it just luck that she didn't die from the fall? If any of you guys are experts in this kind, leave it down in the comments because it makes you kind of curious of like how she jumped from that height and didn't die, unless it was just like for plot convenience or something. It was still like definitely a hard moment to rewatch. So anyway, so the Ryuji and crew, they decide to like of course get some equipment for the journey ahead, which they first go to the gun shop. Which now I don't know how far A1 is going to go with the with the other confidants besides the main cast, if they're really going to explore them that much. I don't know, because granted, taking 100+ hour long game and crushing it into 24 episodes, I can definitely see that being a problem for everyone. So I don't know how far they're going to go with. If they're going to are there going to be some confidants that they're not even going to touch? Are there going to be some that they're going to focus more than others? Are they going to maybe have one episode for them? They're not really going to show them the rest of their confidants, how far the story, because some of their confidants do go really well. Like the stuff with I would definitely say my favorites of the alternate confidant that aren't part of the main cast, I would definitely say would probably be Takemi. Hers was pretty cool, as well as from my memory anyway, because it's been a while since I've watched Nico Beast Let's Play. Another one that I really did enjoy was the gun owner. His was also pretty cool. As the alternate, the NPC confidants that are kind of like side characters. Oh, Kawakami was my favorite. Kawakami, she was my favorite because I hope we do see more of Kawakami and we see her confidant because it's really interesting. I love her confidant. What goes down her social lane. I hope we see Kawakami. She's definitely my favorite. I had to remember. I was like, oh shit, I forgot about Kawakami. See, Kawakami is definitely my favorite. Anyway. So they go to the gunsmith and he's just like and Morgan, they see the price and they're like, yeah, these guns are like it's 19,000 yen. I don't know how much that is in USD, but it's probably pretty expensive. And Morgan's like, hey, how about the owner and see what your lower price? He's like, no man, and Morgan's like, aren't you a regular here? He's like, no man, he scares me. So they end up just going the asking price because he's like, hey man, and Morgan's like, really, you couldn't haggle? I was like, hey man, I'm not good with tough guys. He scares me. I'm like, the dude does put up a good front. So then they also look for some first aid equipment, which they only got like 100 yen, which only can afford them some band-aids. They're like, band-aids. So they get their equipment. Akira then works on creating some lockpicks, breaks the first one. Morgana says, yada yada. He doesn't say it like Jotaro does, where he says, yada yada, but he says yada yada. I was like, Jojo. Yeah, every time I hear someone say yada yada, I can only think of Jojo, yada yada. Sorry, I love Jojo. Anyway. So then they go back to the palace and take down Kamoshida, which they pretty much just go into a montage and then just going up the ranks, going up the castle to find the treasure, while also discussing code names. They of course Ryuji a skull, On is panther, which Ryuji said like, oh, with that outfit, how about sexy cat? And she's like, no, and Akira. And they also, of course, Mona from Morgana, and they don't decide Joker for Akira yet. They decided at the end of the episode, but they're like, he says like, how about Go-Go Mask? Yeah, Go-Go Mask. That name is fucking stupid. So then, after they lockpick a door, they are ready to pretty much like the last part to get to the treasure, which now it has like those swinging blades. In movies like Indiana Jones and such, where they have those swinging blades for to have Indiana Jones or like Lara Croft or whatever kind of go past. Those they print and usually, oh man, this is like something out of like an impossible video game. So then they make their way past, and then of course they find the treasure, which then Kamoshida grabs it, and of course then we have the big boss battle between Akira and I guess I should say the Phantom Thieves versus Kamoshida. Kamoshida himself, when he transforms into his final form, he's of course CGI because I expect that to be. The animation was pretty good. They actually did do an all-out attack for this week's episode, but they didn't show the extra graphic where we see Akira and other characters just with their final pose. It just shows them doing it, then it cuts. Because I probably bet everyone probably got the message that it looks like shit. Granted, they can always fix that for the Blu-rays, which I hope they do. And if they do, I hope they do. And if they do fix it for the Blu-rays, and it looks a lot better in the Blu-rays, maybe for the all-out things, they're gonna add the rest back in. Although I wouldn't be surprised at the end of when Yusuke gets introduced. They'll do one for him. They'll do one for Makoto, one for Haru, one for Akechi. Yeah, I think that's all there's the fan thieves that we have not. Well, Ryuji, we haven't seen one from Ryuji. I don't think we've seen Morgana's all-out attack of the game in the anime yet, but I'm not gonna lose sleep if we don't get it, if we don't see theirs. Anyway, so, and of course, while the fight's going on, the art animation is pretty good. The fight still is also really good. I would definitely say I agree with this part with Mother Baby, where where the fights themselves are more or less Pokemon battles, where there's not really much movement when it really could have been. Apparently, the OVA, the Daybreaker I think it was called. Had a lot better fights. I didn't watch that OVA. I believe it's actually on Crunchyroll, so I'll probably watch it another day. Just see how the animation is. Overall, but I did like the way the fight was going. They actually had Ryuji. They had Morgana, Akira, and An taking down Akira. Not Akira. Excuse me. Kamoshida head on, and then they have Ryuji kind of hiding from the shadows to go up to keep. So they keep Kamoshida distracted while Ryuji gets on top of these pillars and to grab the crown, which they managed to do after Akira after Kamoshida throws him with his special attack, gold medal attack, and it was pretty much like a one-hit kill more or less. We then get to actually see Igor, where Akira tells come on, hey man, I can still fight. But then Igor gives him help by actually fusing the two personas he had, which actually, forgot to mention this, we actually see the persona interrogations in the game, but but in the game you kind of it's after right before an all out, you can do right when the enemy's down on their knees, you can everyone points their guns at him, and then you can either interrogate him or do an all out attack. In this case, they just kind of Akira just nonchalantly just points his gun at the pixie, and so give me the key, and then he says thanks, and then she remembers that hey, I'm not part of Kamoshida's castle. I am Pixie. I now join your crew. So then we see we see Pixie fusing with Arson to create a new persona. I don't know its name. I don't know the name of the personas. But then he uses that to finish a Kamoshida. Morgana, everyone's like, how? What is it? He can summon multiple personas? How is this possible for a mere mortal? Okay, he says human, but doing it for theatrics. So they defeat Kamoshida. Like I said, they do an all-out attack, but they don't actually show the little ending animation with the characters. And then after that, we then, of course, see Kamoshida head. He's on the ropes. He's begging for his life and making up some excuse oh man, come on man, I was pressured too. I was just desperate. They're like, bitch, please, that ain't no excuse. And then An says that they're not gonna kill, that we're not gonna kill you, that you will atone for your crimes, and of course confess what you have done. Of course, Kamoshida agrees this because now they have defeated him. His desires are gone, and he'll become the real shithead. Where they changed his heart, changed his heart. So now he will now confess sin, which then we get back to school. Excuse me. They get back to school. And so, at this assembly, Kamoshida walks in, he pretty much confesses his crimes that, hey, I sexually assaulted the girls, I physically and verbally abused the students, and that to atone for my sins, I'm going to kill myself. An says, no, you're not. We all have pretty much turned the other cheek, so we all live regretful lives, so you definitely have no excuse to kill yourself. Kamoshida's like, you're right, and he tells the guys to call the police, which they do. And of course, Kamoshida is then arrested. An tells the crew that Shiho has regained consciousness, and that's where the episode ends with Morgana telling Kira his codename, which is of course Joker, because he is a wild card. And then at the end of the episode, we have a flash forward. I'm going to be as spoiler free as possible for this part. where they flash forward to Akechi with the rest of the family. This is like late game. This part right here is like late game. So, this is happening like during like the second to last castle. I guess I'm not gonna get any spoilers for anime onlys, but you know they have Akechi, Morgana, Makoto, Haru, Futaba, the whole crew is there, and then they end the episode with a shot of a painting, which of course this painting is very important for the next palace that the Phantom Thieves are going to break into and change this person's heart. I'm not going to give you any spoilers for. Excuse me. I'm not going to give away any spoilers for the significance and the importance of this painting, but trust me when I say this painting is very important to that storyline, and that's where I'm going to end it there. So overall, love this episode. Love the art animation. The soundtrack was raised once again. Excellent with the, being the game. I want to see the art animation. Kamoshida had the scene where we see Kamoshida, confesses in with that red rolled. I wasn't as surreal as it was in the game, but then again, that was a very surreal mode because I never thought, because it was so surreal just seeing that for the first time, that you really can't replicate that again when you watch it, the anime, even no matter how good the anime touches, you can't really experience the same thing twice, So overall, I give this episode 9.5 out of 10. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Leave a like if you did, subscribe if you're new, follow me on Twitter if you like, links on the below, and as always, come back for more. See you guys next time.